Hi everyone. Hey everyone, just making sure that my audio is working. Hey everyone, just making sure that my audio is working. Sorry about the double clip there. I always have audio issues. I am not that confident yet that everything is recording. Hey guys, it's Duchess on this Monday afternoon. I am so happy to be with you guys today. I hope everyone out there in YouTube land is doing well and feeling motivated this week, and comfortable and at peace with all things related to all the things. So on this channel, we I review TV shows, light, comical, have fun, full personality, on blast. And I also like to kind of get into topics and do live streams during the week. Streams. What is strings? Streams during the week and kind of get into some things that help us move forward together. Of course, every discussion is completely open. I want to have an inviting space, a fun space. And sometimes things may get a little tight depending on what we're talking about. But I want to be open and open to everyone's feedback. So, despite my challenges with lives, I'm going to continue to work on it, continue to bring you good content, and pray I don't lose viewers because of it, y'all. Sometimes my viewers be jumping ship, and I don't really know um, what the issue is, if there really is an issue. But I would like to think that you guys enjoy this space and enjoy what I'm bringing to you here. So, with that being said, I thought that doing kind of some Monday afternoons, top of the week check to kind of start our week off would be a fun thing to kind of implement on the channel. Um, so far, our lineup for lives are Mondays. And then Wednesdays, just kind of winding it up or winding it down, um, bringing some things that are on the table, trending news, maybe entertainment news, like whatever. We just kind of bring it to the table and talk. It's a fun way to engage, a way to get to know each other and, get comfortable with the energy in the space. I like energy, I like connecting, and I want to hear from you. So, as we all know, um, our patriotic president, President Biden, he has dropped out of the race. We learned that on yesterday. And with that being said, his VP, Kamala Harris, will be taking seat in the presidential race. So not only is the court system down here in Georgia heating up, this presidential race is heating up. In 2024, the year of revelation of what that's supposed to be about, is yielding to have some interesting turns. And you know some of you may have learned through my past lives what my preference is. I may or may not give my commentary at the end, but my purpose for today is just kind of introduce, put some discussions on the table. I think this election year is too important to not discuss, right? And I want to present from a space that, regardless of who your party is or which side your bread is buttered. I don't know why that came to me today, but that term came to me today. Um, that is still all love. I hope that we can respect each other's differences and maybe put some things on the table that may persuade the other. So, in whichever direction, just to give us more to talk about. But the main thing is to pay attention to what's happening, look at what the agendas are, and really, really, I would encourage to vote with a future mindset. Um, you know, to just kind of give us an opportunity for our freedoms, our liberties, um, our education system, and to, if there's changes to be made, that they are progressive changes, not just immediate changes. Like, I find it concerning that, had the Republicans not lost the seat when President Biden took office, where we would be right now. It concerns me. I have to be honest about that. So I think I had said that up until the election on Monday afternoons, we would kind of review some of Kamala Harris agendas versus Project 2025, because that is the decision that we're making in this voting season. Will it be Kamala Harris, or are you voting for Project 2025? And the thing about that is, there are concerning things for me on that list that are to be implemented. What also concerns me is what we may not know, you know, um, what will come after that, because there is a lot of power being yielded to one person, which is the President of the United States. And, that's an important seat. If it has never ever been, it's most important in this coming year because they will have a lot of power. Um, so I thought that we could kind of review some of Project 2025, put it on the table, and, know what you may or may not be voting for. And again, I do respect everyone's differences. I hope that we can remain in a space that, it doesn't, um, I don't even know, cause conflict really. But I think I would be remiss not to talk about it. So let's get into it. We're going to be taking this piece by piece, breaking it down a little bit, just kind of informing on what that looks like. Um, and I will be reviewing from Wikipedia. I think that's the most reliable source. You guys can tell me how nutty I am if it is not. But I will be reviewing from Wikipedia. And then after that, I wanted to get into this article about this 12-year-old girl with these pending charges. So if you will join me, we're going to get this article pulled up. All right, you guys. So we have Wikipedia pulled up here. And I am going to read two topics that I found that were interesting so far. Um, and so we'll be kind of skimming through, not really going into detail, but I wanted to be, I just kind of wanted to get into this thing a little bit and see what is it about. So we're going to start with education. And I am getting to that piece. Again, this is coming from Wikipedia. And I wanted to get into the education and resource. Also says see Common Core in education in the United States. This document reads a major concern of Project 2025 is what it calls woke propaganda in public schools. In response, it envisions a dramatic reduction of the federal government's role in education and the elevation of school choice and parents' rights. For Project 2025, education should be left to the states. To achieve that goal, it promises eliminating the Department of Education and allowing states to opt out of federal programs or standards. Programs under the Individuals with Disability Education Act would be administered instead by the Department of Health and Human Services. The National Center for Education Statistics would become part of the Census Bureau. The federal government, according to Project 2025, should be no more than a statistics keeping organization when it comes to education. Federal enforcement of civil rights in schools would be significantly curtailed, and such responsibilities would be transferred to the Department of Justice, but the DOJ would be able to enforce the law only through litigation. The federal government would no longer investigate schools for signs of disparate impacts of disciplinary measures on the basis of race or ethnicity. Project 2025 explicitly rejects the pursuit of racial parity in school discipline indicators such as detentions, suspensions, and expulsions over student safety. A federal fund worth $18 billion for low income, $18 billion, let me be clear, for low income students, Title I of the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965 would be allowed to expire. And those responsibilities would devolve to the states. Public funds for education would be available as school vouchers with no strings attached, even for parents sending their children to private or religious schools. Cuts would be made to the funding for free school meals. The Head Start program that provides services to children of low income families would be eliminated. For the project's backers, education is a private rather than a public good. Project 2025 criticizes any programs to forgive student loans. Project 2025 encourages the president to ensure that any research conducted with taxpayer dollars serves the national interest in a concrete way in line with conservative principles. For example, research in climatology should receive considerably less funding in line with Project 2025's view on climate change. The way I am interpreting that, guys, is as if there isn't already a teacher shortage. And some say that that's by design, you know. Critics say that that's by design. Um, if you cannot afford to send your child to private school, they may not have any education unless you homeschool them. And if you can't afford to be at home with your children to homeschool them, then what's going to happen to their education? The freedom of disciplinary practices depending on the state, no one to investigate discriminatory practices, all of your teacher friends, family and friends who are educators in the system, job security, price it's not price cuts but salary cuts, children being expelled from school, different disciplinary actions. Like there's no overseer at less, but at the state level. I think it's worth talking about. Kind of looking into on what we're voting, the free lunch program. And what is coming to mind is, there's always the argument about where your tax dollars are going and how your tax dollars are um, being spent or, people being cared for on the taxpayer's dime, right? So I have to acknowledge that even in terms of that, I saw a proposal about people that are benefiting from food stamps may have to go to work. There could be some work job provisions or something around that. And I don't disagree with that. I think that my concern, I think that there are possibly some good things in 2025 in this project 2025 that can benefit everyone at every level. But it seems like there are far more concerning items um, than those that may be beneficial. So that is the education piece. I'm going to go over one more piece that is concerning expansion of presidential powers. The notion of independent federal agencies or federal employees who don't answer to the president violates the very foundation of our democratic republic. Heritage President Kevin Roberts argues Project 2025 seeks to place the federal government's entire executive branch under direct presidential control, eliminating the independence of the DOJ, the FBI, the Federal Communications Commission, the Federal Trade Commission, and other agencies. The plan is based on an interpretation of the unitary executive theory, arguing that Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution vests executive power solely in the president. Project 2025 proposes that all Department of State employees in leadership roles should be dismissed by the end of January at the end of January 2025. Y'all, the election is in November. That is 60 days. It calls for installing senior State Department leaders in acting roles that do not require Senate confirmation. Karen Skinner, who wrote the State Department chapter of Project 2025, ran the department's Office of Policy Planning for less than a year during the Trump administration before being forced out of the department. She considers most State Department employees too left wing and wants them replaced by those more loyal to a conservative president. When When asked by Peter Bergen in June 2024 if she could name a time when State Department employees obstructed Trump's policy, she said she could not. If Project 2025 were implemented, congressional approval would not be required for the sale of military equipment and ammunition to a foreign nation unless unanimous congressional support is guaranteed. Trump said in 2019 that Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution grants him the right to do whatever as president. A common claim among supporters of the unitary executive theory, similar in 2018, Trump claimed he could fire special counsel Robert Mueller. Trump is not the first president to consider policies related to the unitary executive theory. The idea has seen a resurgence and popularization within the Republican Party since the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Media Matters reported that several Project 2025 partners praised the 2024 Supreme Court decision, Trump versus United States, which grants broad immunity from prosecution for acts committed in the course of a president's official duties. In 2023, Michael Hirsch wrote that little of Project 2025 agenda is likely to happen, citing conservative scholars and government experts who criticize its plans to reform the federal bureaucracy as comically naive, making the federal more government more incompetent, chaotic, and amateurish. Kamala versus Project 2025. Where are you guys with it? You know, it may not be something that anybody is comfortable talking about, but I thought it would be, you know, I thought it would be good to kind of bring it to the table and go over some of these policies as we prepare for this upcoming election year. I myself, although, um, you know, when I got the news, I'm still kind of deciding on how I feel about it. I guess it's a good thing that my spirit isn't all that it's not really not disturbed much, you know. I have always thought this was a serious time. I have kind of thought of ways that, you know, should I be more vocal? Should I be campaigning? Um, you know, or will it even do any good, right? I will say this. I know that a lot of people are not interested in really voting for either party. Neither are for anyone really. They're for their agenda. I'm not saying that that's my stance. I'm just saying that this is some of the spill that I get just from different social activities and different commentary. Um, Kamala Harris has some um, a questionable career that people may or may not trust. Some people say some of it isn't true, especially during her time as a prosecutor. She may be being unfairly judged. She was doing her job. I don't really know, really. My entire thing is keeping a certain party out of office, if I'm honest. And I have my reasons for that. That stands as I get more into Project 2025. The items that are kind of, spelled out. It makes me concerned. Um, I don't think any of that agenda is for the average working class citizen. Um, for me, it looks like they're moving almost forcibly, moving to a United States that I would not want my children growing up in. But that's just me. And that's why I kind of open up these discussions and bring them to the table. Um, I'm not here to say what you should or shouldn't do. Again, I hope that we can respect each other's differences when it comes to this topic, but I do leave the question of um which side is your bread buttered? You have the bread. We're citizens, right? Your bread is your citizenship. Which side do you want buttering your bread? Rome wasn't built in a day. Are there things that need to be changed in this country? I would absolutely agree with that, right? But are you voting for Project 2025? Are you voting to give 45 champion to be 47 the full complete power over all of your federal government and to have immunity for any crimes, to be able to sell our weapons to anyone at any time? I'm just having a hard time understanding how anyone would want to vote for that. The Medicare, Medicaid funding is at risk. If you have any elderly or disabled or whomever that is benefiting from that service, it's at risk. The Social Security in the retirement phase is at risk under that project. The ability for another party to get involved or to make some changes or to kind of like the momentum will be there for this whole thing to change. And so when I hear people say we're fighting for our democracy, my position is to try to give us some dialogue to discuss what that exactly looks like. The right to your own body and what you do with your body and all of that could get that back with Kamala Harris in office. Definitely going to be even stricter under Project's 2025 rule. So I just kind of wanted to bring that to the table. I thought it would be a good thing to kind of open up the topics on Mondays. We're getting ready for this election. I would say talk, 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 open dialogue, talk about what's happening, talk about what the agendas are, really, really get into some discussions. I mean, don't make it your everyday thing. I'm not saying that, but we can't just kind of sit by and watch it get duped out on media, right? Like, I just don't think that that's the plan to do. I think that we do need to come together. Um, I think that we do need to have the dialogue and take as many people as you can to the polls with you. Focus on this young generation who the 18-year-olds, your 18 to 22-year-olds who are just living life under the protection of their parents and that sort of a thing. Like we have really, really we just need to get out here and get to the polls. The last day of voting registration is towards the end of October. Let's keep that in mind. Um, and do what we need to do to ensure whichever way that you're voting, that that happens. Um, I'm kind of excited. I don't feel hopeless in this situation. I'm kind of excited. I'm looking forward to seeing how things play out. And I'm looking forward to seeing how we can come together to um, prevent us all from living under Project 2025 rules. That's my position. Um, that's my position, and I need to be honest and stand on that. That is my position. I'm not going to be wishy washy on that, but I do invite anyone to come up and just kind of, tell me what you think. Tell me how I'm wrong. Open my eyes. Help me see something differently because that is my position at this point. I'm voting blue, y'all. Um, and I'm excited about Kamala Harris. I know the argument is, this country isn't ready for either parts of her makeup, right? Whether they're ready or not, we are in this space and we have to make a choice, you know. And I believe that it can happen if everyone votes for her. And I think that any weight of anything why she shouldn't be the candidate or why you wouldn't vote for her versus voting for Project 2025, or the option to just keep your hands off of the situation and, it doesn't benefit me anyway. So I'm not voting. I was in that space for a lot of years. It just wasn't of interest to me. It was just the last few elections that I really, really got kind of into this politics sector and said, okay, I'm going to be an active participant. So I understand it, but I just wanted to make sure that we understood by not casting a vote and not getting involved and not standing up and taking the reins and exerting your right. Might as well do it now because Project 2029 or 2030 or 28, 29 may take away your voting rights. Like, this is an extreme, extreme policy that yields a lot of power going forward. So, what else could be coming down the pipeline? And if nothing else, I would vote against it, but that's just me. So, I just thought I'd bring that up, right? Let's shift gears a little bit. And I wanted to talk about this 12-year-old girl that smothered her cousin over an iPhone. Wow. 12, y'all. 12. So let's get into that. Let's see. I'll be right back. Let me pull that up. All right, you guys. So I'm sure you've heard about it, but I wanted to kind of talk about it, bring it to the table. 12-year-old girl charged with murder after home video show her suffocating her 8-year-old cousin, police say. Mm, 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 mm. A 12-year-old Tennessee girl has been charged with murder after security cameras at her grandmother's house show her smothering to death her 8-year-old cousin with blankets, police said. The younger girl was staying with her grandma for the summer. A 12-year-old girl has been charged with first-degree murder after home surveillance video allegedly showed her suffocating her 8-year-old cousin in a bunk bed they shared at their grandmother's Tennessee home. Demiria Hollingsworth was spending the summer with her older cousin at their grandma's home in the western town of Humbot, according to the deceased girl's mother. The mother said she was told the cousins had been recently arguing about an iPhone. When they told me about that, I should have just gone to get my kids, Smith said. But they were having fun for the summer, and I didn't think that she would kill my baby. Prosecutor Frederick Agee said he is petitioning juvenile court, excuse me, to have the child tried as an adult, and he called the case disturbingly violent. The surveillance video allegedly shows the 12-year-old smothering her cousin with bedclothes, then cleaning up the scene and repositioning her little cousin's body, according to authorities. I consider this to be one of the most disturbing violent acts committed by either an adult or juvenile that my office has prosecuted, AG said in a statement on social media. The girl who turns 13 next week is charged with murder and tampering with evidence, The prosecutor said because of her age, she has not been publicly identified. Hmm. So, trying her as an adult, if convicted, that means that she will spend her years or whatever, her years of adolescent in juvenile and then move to adult facility when she is of age. I don't even really know what to say to it, you know? Like I really don't know what to say to that. I think my question is how did it get there? Um how did that capability get planted in this child? That level. Where did it start? How did it get there? Um that's all I have on it. I think that I mean, I just whew, if I was the DA, how would I handle it? If I was a defense attorney, would I take it? The case, I mean, this 8-year-old child, the family, the mothers who are possibly sisters. Ooh, that's a lot. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of bring that, just kind of bring it forward, really. I guess, I always try to make things and, have things in a way that it gives us something to think about on how to move forward or, if there are any red flags, we can make some changes in our own lives on, how we're handling things and how we're moving in our own lives to not have these sort of life experiences. Um, to kind of look at things from that perspective. I don't even have a lens that I can, I just don't. But that is what is happening. That is what has happened. And there are a lot of cases of, you know, children having these sort of life experiences. And it just always makes me wonder, how do we get here in such a young age? What is the exposure? And I'm not saying that it's in the family, it could be media exposure. Like, I don't really know. But it's trending news, it's what's going on, it's what's happening, and there we are. So, that's my Monday evening chat for this evening. Kamala Harris of Project 2025, how are you buttering your bread? And let us get some sincere prayers going for this family, and particularly both of these mothers of this soon to be 13-year-old and this 18-year-old who is no longer here. Um, put them on your prayer list and really give it some sincere prayer. That always is something that we can do free, and you can't have too many of those. So, yeah, that's our Monday evening chat. I'll be live again on our Wednesdays wind down. Try to make that kind of fun and light and get into maybe how social media is reacting to this Kamala Harris stuff and what are the celebrities saying. And, hopefully we'll get some people to join the live and tell us what they're thinking and where they are with that. How do you guys feel about kind of, having the funds in the TV review space and taking a break from it all and opening up the conversation? Is that something that you like to see more on this channel, or is it something that you like to kind of go away? I'm here with it. Shaping this channel, you know, rounding it out to where it is an enjoyable space to all have subscribed. And we just gonna say a little tiny prayer that my subscribers are not dwindling because of this subject title. I am very pleased with where we are with the channel. I appreciate all of the support. I am a perfectionist when it comes to work, y'all, like obsessively, insanely perfectionist. Ugh. Problem solving is my thing, you know? And so, if I'm honest, it does kind of, you know, um, make me really revisit things and really look at what I'm doing and how things are rolling when I lose a subscriber or two. So, give your girl an opportunity to address. I don't know. It's really not that serious, but it is to me because I'm still fighting through my people pleaser part of my personality. And I want you to enjoy the space. I want you to be happy to be here. And look forward to getting some laughs in and just kind of seeing what's rocking and rolling on this channel. So anyway, it's 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Where I am. I am going to prepare to watch Basketball Wives tonight. So I will be back with that review. And it's a live that I think I want to catch at 7 o'clock on someone else's channel. So I enjoy bringing this to you. I hope that this is something that everyone is thinking about. Um, we don't have to be obsessive about it, but we definitely need to be talking, y'all. July 30th, the YSL trial will be back in session. We'll get to hear some of those motions, and I will be bringing that piece back to you too. So it's your girl, Duchess, and I have enjoyed coming to you this afternoon, and I will talk to you guys again very soon. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye bye.